Welcome to ComSpark TV. We are in Indianapolis today, and I am joined by the Senior Vice President of IT at Kite Realty, Colin Joynt. Colin, welcome.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Can you talk about how IT is driving value in your organization?
Absolutely. We take kind of a two-pronged approach to IT. So there's internal IT, which is how do I enable the organization? We're a publicly traded REIT. We've got around 100 properties, approximately 20 odd million square feet, and team member base geographically across the US is about 150. So how do we enable them? How do we get leases signed faster? How do we measure? How do we look at velocity from opportunity management, which is identifying a tenant, pushing them through to actually signing a lease? Then we also look at cyber. How do we secure the organization? Again, we deal with a lot of mobile people in our workforce. So we're always having the conversations around, I don't work in an office, how do I secure it? I'm in a Starbucks, I'm on a construction site. The flip side is how do we enable our tenants? And that's, I think, going to be the big pivot in our world is what are tenants looking for? A lot of our tenants are what we would consider mom and pop. So their business is a franchise, their business is a nail salon, their business is a small restaurant, whatever the case may be. They don't know IT, but that's a service and an offering that we can provide. So that's kind of our two-pronged approach in terms of how we're going to leverage IT and enable the business.
Beautiful. Where do you feel like IT is headed specifically in your industry?
We are definitely working towards automations. So robotic process automation is a big area that we're exploring. If you think about what we do at a property level, what can we automate so that some of our what we call lease analysts or our property accountants can do more analytics, more value add work as it relates to driving value in the business. We're looking at metrics around some level of AI. What are consumer trends in terms of where we need to go to enable the right mix inside of a tenant base, inside of a center. If you look at traditionally, you would have what we would consider quote unquote maybe a power center or a grocery store anchor, but now we're looking, we need a different kind of mix. Maybe it's more fitness, maybe it's more lifestyle. So how do we get that nice mix within a portfolio, and how do we leverage analytics and forward thinking data strategies to enable those mixes inside the portfolio?
Fascinating. What do you see from an experience perspective? You've been in the industry for a while.
Yeah. From an experience perspective, it's changing all the time. The biggest driver of change inside our industry is consumer. Again, we're a consumer-focused organization. People don't necessarily look at the landlord. I mean, if you're making a decision on where you're going to buy a pair of shoes, where you want to eat, you're not really concerned with, hey, who's the landlord supporting the building? You don't care. What you care about, though, is the experience. So is the restaurant going to work with OpenTable as an example? How do I enable it so that you get served quickly, promptly at the table that you want? Well, what do I need to do around that? And then how do I take that data, give it back to the restaurant owner to say, hey, Doug's the guy, this is his table, he's a regular customer, how do we enable his experience from a landlord perspective? So those are some of the things that we're trying to solve experientially. Internally, reducing friction. It sounds like an old buzzword, but our goal is to leverage technology to enable. We really want to streamline. We want to reduce the friction internally to get the job done.
I've heard you talk about green initiatives and social consciousness. How does that fit?
So we have under our marketing arm and our human capital, and quite frankly, from our CEO and the executive team, is we have what we call Kite Cares. And that's an initiative based around, as you've mentioned, green initiatives, but also educating kids. That's a big focus of our organization. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to tie some of our IT initiatives, some of our property initiatives around Kite Cares. So as an example, in our centers, we will use solar-powered lights where possible. We'll put charging stations in for electric vehicles. We will look at different ways to, kind of reduce, reuse, and recycle, which again is all the whole green initiative. But then we'll also work with local charities, local organizations to say, you know what, let's do a Kite Cares initiative. We'll sponsor it, help brand it, and then we drive, again, more recognition inside the community. It's a great program, really great program.
Super cool.
Yeah, it is. It is.
You've been watching ComSpark TV. If you're interested in more information, you can visit comspark.tech on the web. Colin, thank you so much for
Appreciate
spending a
your
few
time.
minutes with us.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right.